back to the RSP Lounge here at RangerStop and Pop 2025. I'm with someone who I never got the chance to speak to at any of these conventions, but I'm happy to have you here today. Before we do that, I'm going to do a little intro.
Yeah.
Our guest today is someone who made a huge impression on me when I revisited one of my favorite Power Ranger seasons, SPD. As Jack, he brought leadership, depth, and a real presence to the role of the Power Rangers. Since then, you've built a powerhouse career across TV with standout performances like in Graceland,
Thank you.
Snowfall, The Rookie. Guys, please welcome the talented and always working, by the way, Brandon McLaren.
What's up, guys?
What's up, brother? Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, man. This is really great. This is so I'd gone to RangerStop in Orlando maybe like 15 years ago, but this is my first RangerStop in Atlanta.
What?
So I'm
you're a couple years behind.
I'm a little, but like I'm surprised, I'm amazed, and I'm pleased. This has been great.
I'm happy. Are you getting good people coming up, sharing stories, right? That's what it's all about,
That's what it's all about. Yeah, it's been good.
All right, so Brandon, first things first, when you think back to filming Power Rangers SPD, what was one of like the most incredible scenes that you continue to talk about? Anything out of recent memory that still makes you smile?
Some scenes?
Yeah, or even one scene or anything in particular that still like you can share stories with people and it makes you, it makes everyone laugh.
Yeah, I think like what comes to mind initially is the heroes come in all color scene with Sky. I think it's like so profound on so many levels. I think it was sort of, a microcosm, that scene of like the entire broader story that we were trying to tell and the broader message. We were able to distill it down to one scene. And so that's something that resonates with me that I'm still real proud of.
Let me tell you something. You brought vibe, a freaking big vibe to Power Rangers when I first saw you on screen, man. So that was pretty cool.
Thanks.
Now, you, Jack Landors, had this rare mix of strength and heart.
Yes.
How much of you at that time did you put into that character? Or how much did it come from the script?
I think oddly enough, like Bruce and Greg, who are our executive producers, they were like they were able to sort of like capture and like distill each of our individual personalities and like impart it into the characters. So I think it was like a mix of both, but I think they were able to sort of capture my essence as like a human, especially, I was 25 when I did that role, and they were able to sort of, and then like mix that in with like the character and the arc and in like a real sort of seamless way. So a little bit of both, I would say.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about Graceland for a second.
Yeah.
That show was packed with a ton of tension from what I remember. What was it like working on a series where every character had something to hide?
You know what, I gotta say, like, firstly, that's probably like my favorite show that I've ever done. I'm still sad that it finished. Canceled too early, I think.
Yeah,
that was like one of those special shows where like the whole cast just like really got along. And it was almost like going to work every day and making television with your friends. And everybody had input and everybody felt heard. Yeah. And everybody like just really wanted to go and make the show better.
Yeah.
And so it was a very unique environment, and I miss it to this day. It was great.
That's awesome. Before we let you go here, your final arc in SPD was unexpected. Yeah. You chose to step away from being a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Did that feel like the right send-off for your character at that,
Absolutely. I think, it was really courageous of Bruce and Greg to finish off the show like that, because it's not typical. But I think the take-home message was like, ultimately, you have to stay true to yourself. Jack tried something. He was able to succeed. He grew from it. And then he was able to step back, like, you know what, though, this still is not me. And he was like, and he was good with that. And I think that's like a good message. Stay true to yourself no matter what.
That's dope. Yeah. What's next for you before we wrap up?
I got a new show. Yeah, I got a new show coming out, I think in September or October, called Wayward on Netflix, starring myself, Mae Martin, Toni, Collette.
Wow.
It's an 8-episode miniseries. I think it's going to be great. It's a psychological thriller. Look out for it.
Brandon, thank you so much for being part of the RSP Lounge. Guys, Brandon here. Make sure you go check him out. Thank you all. And where do they follow you? What's social network you most
active? At Brandon Jay McLaren on Instagram.
All right, guys. Thank you again. This is RSP Lounge. More to come. We'll talk soon.